This is Stacy McKibben with the Master Communicator podcast, where CEOs, C-suite executives, and senior leaders share their advice. It's 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best leaders know how to share their ideas concisely and quickly. Let's jump right in. Question number 1. In a few sentences, tell me who you are and what you do.
I'm Boggs. I'm president of RevLocal. RevLocal is a leading trusted digital marketing partner for small and medium-sized businesses across the U.S. We help them to gain and retain customers online in the face of rapid change. And boy, we are in the face of rapid change.
Oh, I think it's that we're so lucky to have you on right here in this space and time, specifically to answer that question. I think as you think about, what's the best thing about leading people, and maybe do it through the lens of through times of crisis, what are the things that you want people to think about during this time more than ever?
Think about this week, a lot of digital marketing companies woke up, and the only thing that they had to rely upon to help their customers was the software that they created. At RevLocal, we have people. And I always wanted to build the kind of company where that we utilize technology, but where people could still make a difference with that technology. And so this week, we're helping our customers really face their fears in this time of uncertainty, but also understand how to leverage marketing to change the messaging to the local consumer. And so far this week, we've had tremendous success.
That's amazing. Can you give me an example of some of the things you've been seeing just in terms of the messaging for consumers? I mean, I think we're seeing them purchasing habits going up, right?
Well, we're definitely seeing traffic. We as local consumers don't do well bored, and we don't always do well in our home stuck. And so we have seen an increase in traffic. And for those local businesses, there's no doubt things have changed for restaurants, for spas, for fitness centers. But what we've noticed is that if they can reach that local consumer, even in their home, they're still a purchasing consumer. And so finding ways to provide value. And I think that what's going to come out of all of this, especially for a lot of our customers, is they're reinventing their business model into a way that's going to be sustaining their business for many years to come.
I totally agree with you. That's exactly what's going to happen.
It's almost like we needed this little kick in the butt, isn't it?
I think as humans, we often do, don't we? It's like you need the wedding date to work off the pounds to fit into the tux and the dress, right? I mean, it's just like you need the impetus to do the work sometimes. Question 3 for you. I often hear from other leaders that business would be great if it weren't for that pesky people part. I'm curious, what are your thoughts about that?
Oh, I can't envision coming into work without people being a part of it. There's nothing more satisfying to me than having the opportunity to inspire somebody to become the greatest version of themselves. And on a daily basis, I feel like that I have that opportunity. And what I often find is that as I go to help somebody, they in turn end up helping me become the greater version of myself. And so I can't envision a world where people can't still work together and make a difference.
Yeah, and especially right now, I think it calls on us to really, have each other's back in a different way, and it'll come in all different forms now, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you. We're almost learning more about ourselves as we go through this. The muscle memory is being exercised in a unique way.
Yeah, and seeing where the selflessness really comes in, I think, we hear the term servant leadership, but now we're going to be challenged to, do we live that mentality and that mindset, or is it a good game to talk, What other successful business leaders like yourself should be on the podcast? Who else should we be listening to and paying attention out there in the marketplace right now?
Yeah, so most recently I had the opportunity to listen to Magic Johnson speak. So if you can get Magic Johnson, put him on your list, right?
Heck yes.
The California guy. So Simon Sinek is just incredible. Gary Vee is very relevant in the marketing space. Seth Godin. So those are some names that come to my mind. But I love what you're doing because it makes those that are on the front lines in their businesses have a voice in a way that maybe they're not the marketable names, but you can still consume the content and take valuable lessons and resources from them. So I go to LinkedIn and I watch a lot of people that are normal like me.
Is there anybody out there that you're particularly paying attention to that's normal like us?
I go into the industries because I find a lot of on the Main Street leadership. Maybe it's a one or two person business. And so just hearing how they're utilizing technology, inspiring, their brand to be found locally. I love to consume those thoughts from the people that are actually on the street with their sleeves rolled up.
I love that. And thank you for sharing that, because I think that's the piece is I want to get across is you don't necessarily need a specific name, but you need the resourcefulness to go out and look, right? And to go out and hunt and seek the information out because it's there in spades. And there's people like you and me that are out there, and we're having these dialogues and we're learning and we're sharing at the same time. And so I just think it's a whole new opportunity in a way that we didn't have even 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Right. So thank you for talking about your process there. Question 5 for you. What piece of advice about communication would you give to other leaders?
Wow. Right now, I'm in the midst of needing to communicate rapidly. I think the thing that I find a lot of leaders stand in their own way, or they get into their own head, is they project that they're going to have to be perfect in their communication style, or they overthink the specifics that they're going to say, and they miss the authenticity part. I think that people want to feel the message come in an authentic way. And so that has been the thing that I found the most valuable to inspire others, and just having confidence to get out there and start into the conversation and allow it to go in places that you could never prepare.
I love that. Allow it to go in places you could never prepare. There's my soundbite, Aaron.
Yes.
I love it. That was awesome. That was great. All right. Magic question number 6 for you. Tell us about your favorite boss or teacher. Who's really influenced you in your life?
Well, there's been a lot, and I can't name them all, but the one that stands out to me was Gordon Tytler. I worked at Rolls-Royce Aerospace, and Gordon was from Liverpool, England. And when I came to be a part of Rolls-Royce Aerospace, I heard that Gordon was the guy that nobody wanted to work for. And I found out quickly why, as I started to work for Gordon, is because he expected and demanded a lot. And I learned so much from him. And I remember being on a tarmac in Montreal, and we were sitting next to each other, and Gordon simply asked me why I enjoyed working for him. And it was because I felt like that I was taking in what he had to teach me, and others missed that opportunity. And so a lot of times leadership is about looking for the horizons to gain new information. And still today, I carry a lot of those things I learned from Gordon with me.
It's so beautiful. Again, it can easily slip into blaming, right? That person is, demanding, or, such high expectations, or it can be, what a gift that this person was so demanding and had such high expectations.
I remember being 24 and thinking, what am I missing? Everybody else is saying that they didn't want to work for him, but I really enjoyed it. And so I what am I missing? And then quickly I found out, they were missing the opportunity. So mindset is so critical in accepting leadership in your own life.
Yeah, accepting leadership. Wow. All right, man, you're just killing it out here right now. These are some great ideas, and thank you so much for being on. I really, really appreciate it. If people want to learn more from you, how can they find you? Where should they go look?
On LinkedIn, Aaron Boggs, or you can go to our company's website, RevLocal, RevLocal.com.
That's amazing. Well, again, thank you so much, Aaron. It's always a pleasure to see you and hear some of your thoughts on these things. In the meantime, this is Stacy McKibben with the Master Communicator Podcast. For more ideas and insights, please go check us out at www.concilioteam.com. Look forward to seeing you again next time. Take care.